Good morning, y'all, and welcome back to the BYU Dynasty. My name is Ryan here with Cougar Legacy, and we're going to dive back into this. If you haven't seen episode 1 already, go ahead and check that out right now. It's going to go over all of the team intro and the preseason recruiting board setup. So it's not super valuable at this point, but give you a little bit of an insight into what we're doing here. So other than that, let's jump into it. We have a couple things I wanted to go over real quick before we get into this. Number one, I did forget to do red shirts last time. I briefly did that before jumping into this. Redshirted Noah Lugo here at quarterback. It was mostly freshmen. We got Haunga here at running back. Huff was the only there was another upperclassman, but it's mostly freshmen that are pretty deep on the depth chart that won't be used much this year because I want to preserve them for going forward. Specifically this guy because he's not very good. Now, some of them are not very good, like Greg McCoy here and what was his name? Huff? Devin Huff. I assume that's Huff. A lot of them are depth pieces, and some of them aren't even really going to make the squad in the future, but I wanted to get enough of that so that we have a future going forward. We don't just lose out. I also made sure that they didn't have a deal breaker that would potentially be on the line for them to transfer after the season. So we should be able to maintain a lot of these guys going forward and be able to build the team up from there. So anyway, that's just a quick little update as far as the roster is concerned. The next thing, very briefly, you'll notice that I think his name was Rich Beckett. It was something Beckett. I actually can't remember his name now. He's no longer on my recruiting board. I took him off because he was a bust and he was a 3-star. So I wanted to, I guess, preserve the integrity there. But instead, I've added another quarterback target in Alex Hector here. Field general from Gilbert, which is not typically my play style, but he's a 4-star. He's in the pipeline. And I figured that if we don't get Martin Casas, we need another quarterback target. And we can obviously add some later, but I'd like to get a head start on getting our quarterbacks so that we don't have to scramble last minute and maybe settle for some 2-stars, which, I mean, nothing wrong with 2-stars. They could be some decent depth down the line, replace the quarterback later next year. But that's a little bit of an update as far as the roster and recruiting is concerned. Now that we've done that, we're going to jump straight into week 0 and actually do some recruiting so that we can start getting some of these guys, hopefully. All right, so real quick before we head in, we did lose out on Tyrone Cheek, which really stinks because he was an American Fork guy. So definitely thought we could keep him. He's only a 3-star too. Hawaii's just taken over, I guess. But we did move up for Warren Durant, Tyrone Cantu, Jarius Mayweather, and Devin Biggums, which are also good because those are positions of need. We're still fighting with Utah and Oregon State on that guy and Colorado State for him. But we have a pretty solid advantage on Warren Durant, which is nice because he's a gem. So, like I mentioned, we're going to jump into recruiting, and I wanted to give the timeline, I guess, as far as how I want to structure these episodes. So I'm going to do the recruiting from week 0, and then we're going to play the game for week 1, and then that'll be the episode. And then next week, we'll do the recruiting for week 1 and the game for week 2, just to kind of get an even space of recruiting and gameplay so that there's something interesting going on. I want you guys to follow, I guess, unless you don't want it, right? I think it's fun to follow the recruiting, and I could just give brief recruiting updates throughout the series if that's more preferable, but this is kind of what I was planning on. Shoot a comment down below of which one you'd prefer, whether you'd like the long, in-depth recruiting updates or just the brief when something happens updates, because I'm still trying to figure out which one I'd rather do. It obviously takes the same amount of time for me both ways. I'm going to be recording all of it anyway, so that's kind of why I figured that we just do it all together. But if you're not interested in seeing that, then let me know so I can cut that out, and I'll just let you know when we get the big guys like Martin or whatever. But for now, we're going to jump into this. All right, as a recap, I guess, I realized that the 2 quarterbacks I had on my list, the one that I had added between weeks, and then to a small. It's a reach on both of those guys. I'm going to keep Martin Cassis because I don't know. You never know. It's going to be hard to fight against Texas, UCLA, and Oklahoma, and Notre Dame, even though Notre Dame doesn't have a pipeline, because all of those schools are high quarterback development schools. But we're going to try it. And then I added Brady Pitts, who didn't have, no, they had one offer from someone who's not here in the top 10, and they're a 4-star. And then Antonio Doxson, who didn't have any offers. He's from Reno, Nevada. He's a 3-star. I'm hoping to be able to snag these guys. I'm really hoping to get Martin, but I mean, time will tell on that one. That's going to be a hard ask. Other than that, I'm not going super aggressive on any one person. Some of the higher caliber guys I've put a little bit more points into, which if they don't end up committing or they commit somewhere else, or I slide a bit between week 0, I'll probably, take some of their points away and throw it at somebody else to try to get like the best guy that I have here on the board right now, and then replace the other dudes with some lower caliber recruits. This is where I stand though. We got them spread out. So if you have any better ideas on how I could do this, again, I'm going to be doing the recruiting for week 1 after this episode. I'm probably not going to record it for the rest of the week because I'm not going to have a lot of free time. And I left this guy, Tyrone Cheek, on here. He's a 3-star defensive end out of American Fork, Utah, which I would think would be a lock, right? But he's locked me out. And I'm under the impression that you can still go after locked out recruits, potentially, if they, I don't know, slide on the top schools or just by offering them a scholarship, because I sent him a scholarship that maybe you could move up on their board. I don't know that to be true. I haven't necessarily paid attention to it. I usually take recruits that lock me out off my board, but A, I ended up using all the rest of my points, and B, I have an excess of defensive ends on my board right now. So if he's just a placeholder, it's not that huge of a deal, but I'm not sure exactly what to do with him. So if you have any ideas, let me know. And again, if there's anything that you think, I'm going to just kind of flip through these. If you think I should put my points somewhere else, or maybe be a bit more aggressive on somebody or less aggressive on somebody, then let me know, because I need a lot of help with this, and any input that you can give me is well appreciated. We're going to get who we get and not throw a fit. They just may not be the best prospects, and it's probably going to be a slowish build because I don't necessarily know exactly what I'm doing in here, and that's okay. There's another defensive end that I slid pretty hard, so I replaced him with this guy, Johnny Longacre, out of Provo, Utah. The only one really fighting for him right now is Utah State. He's a 2-star, which is not somebody I'd really go after, but you build a lot of our roster right now is 2 stars and 3 stars. I don't know that there's a single 4-star. I haven't really looked it up. I'm sure there is at least one, but my point being that these lower caliber recruits can be potential building blocks for down the road. And at this stage in the rebuild, we're still kind of building those blocks. So I'm fine with it for now, but if you have any ideas, let me know, because I'm open to any kind of suggestions, any kind of strategies, whatever you think would be best. So yeah, let me know. We are going to advance the week. If there's anything that pops up, we'll talk about that as it pops up. Hopefully nobody locks me out again, because I don't want to have to deal with that, but it's very possible. All right, good news. Nobody locked me out between weeks. Martin Casas, we're actually moving up, but not nearly as much as the top 4. So he's probably a lost cause, because I've put 50 points into him and I can't put any more. That's such a bummer. I really wanted this guy. I'm going to keep him on, I think, until he commits. It's probably a waste of points, but I want the opportunity. So, again, if I'm wrong, let me know. Marquise Donahue. Oh, we slid. Yikes. We might have to put more points into him. Greg Espy. We went up, but we're not near as much as Arizona. So most of these were still in the fight. Some of them were kind of losing ground. Others were gaining ground, which is good. We're going to take a look more at this, obviously, in the next recruiting session, which will be at the beginning of next episode. Nice. Okay. And Antonio Doxson. All right. So I feel like I've kind of pretty much locked down Antonio Doxson here. So that's nice. And it almost looks like Zach Sims is also a lock. I don't remember how many points I put on him, but it was not a lot. Some of these other guys, I'll probably have to move some points around. But again, we'll get to that when we get to the next recruiting bit, which will be at the beginning of next episode. So now we're going to get into the game. All right, week 1, we got an FCS team. This should be pretty easy, but you can never count these teams out. There might be some turnovers unexpectedly, because obviously I'm not perfect. But let's see what happens. All right, Lavelle Edwards Stadium. Cosmos walking the team out. Getting ready to dominate, boys. Yeah, let's get it. All right, starting the game off with kicking it off. Okay, that was not, oh, that wasn't full strength, and it still goes in the end zone. So, you know what it is. DJ Dilworth, huh? I don't know what kind of offensive scheme they run here in FCS Midwest. I expect kind of a run first defense or offense. And hey, I mean, my prediction was pretty spot on. Hey, a sack. Is that Tyler Batty? Yeah, Tyler Batty getting in there, getting a sack. Let's do it, boys. All right, so first 2 plays of the game. They haven't gone anywhere. In fact, they've gone backwards 10 yards. Great way to start the season. Tyler just obliterated that guy. Well, not obliterated him, but he didn't stand a chance either. Okay. Probably want to zone here. Gonna expect a pass. Ooh. That got batted. Cody Epps back to return. Punts. We're going to take this one. Ooh, to the outside. Oh, okay. Didn't quite get all the way, but pretty nice return for Cody Epps. And now the offense is at work, led by, of course, I blanked on his name, Jake Retzlaff. Okay. Quick slants play. Yeah, we got Chase Roberts at the left, up the left side. 21-yard completion to Chase Roberts. Nice way to start the day. Inside zone run from Miles Davis, and he almost got in, but he didn't quite. If I go inside zone here, is that going to be... Okay, LJ Martin gets the goal line run from the half-yard mark, and it's going to be a touchdown, believe it or not. So, just like that, we are a minute in. I don't know how far, because touchdown won't go away. Or a minute and 20 seconds into the game, and BYU scores their first touchdown with LJ Martin on a half-yard run after 2 really great plays, 21-yard pass and a 12-yard run. So what a way to start. That's a banger right there. 3 plays, 40 seconds, 33 yards. All started off by a pretty great return from Cody Epps as well. Can't undermine that at all. I'm kind of expecting a similar offensive scheme from, it might be Jack Kelly. Oh, there's no way. There's no way that was actually a fumble, right? I might need to adjust my sliders. I'm fine with it because I love blowout wins, but yikes. That's not a good look for FCS Midwest. Blake Mangelson with the force or the recovery. Yeah, there's no way. That's not going to hold up. I'm going to hit double slants, and it's going to hold up. They're not going to challenge. They're not going to review it. Well, all right then, I guess. Cody. Oh, no, that's Darius Lassiter. One and done. Let's do it. So we've scored 14 points in 10 seconds. It's very reminiscent of the K-State game here in Lavelle Edwards that happened in real life. I swear, I totally expected that fumble to come back. I kind of want to look at it. Okay, this is still not a fumble. This is totally not a fumble, but he's not on the ground because he's on his own guy. So the ball still comes out when he's on the ground. Yeah, we did not force a fumble. We did not recover a fumble. That's a load of crock. Sorry, FCS Midwest fans out there, but y'all got robbed. We're gonna throw a blitz at him, which may not be the right call, but we're gonna do it anyway. We got enough guys. Yikes, they're spread out. Okay, I missed. There's no. What in the world? What is happening right now? Is it a screen? No. That was my guy, and I kind of screwed it up. We're gonna throw the blitz at him. This might not be the right blitz. And they get the first down. Okay. Not ideal. One whole press. But we are also up 14-0 when it should be not that, so I'm not going to complain. Nope, I want to be Harrison. What am I doing? Got a deep. Oh, yikes. I'm not going. Oh, no. Okay. I got bit by the play action. Luckily, the computer is better at this game than I am. And John Nelson was able to get the sack, which, man, we already have a ton of sacks. I actually can't believe it. And I feel like I'm screwing something up. Did they just go with a... Nope, they do it with a screen. Oh my gosh. And he gets it. I didn't have anybody shallow on that side. Man. It's a missed opportunity. That was a major missed opportunity. I want to be DeMoney here. DeMooney. Oh, they got another screen. Harrison Taggart. Yikes. They got me scrambled, dude. Auto flip. Man. They have been picking me apart. Yikes. It'll be second down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. They'll go to the ground. And maybe we had that pretty well sealed off, but they still got something off of it. This deep in the red zone, third down, they can pick up the first without scoring. From the gun, wants to pass. Fires into the end zone. There we go. Harrison Taggart with the lurk. All right. I actually did that. That was me. I actually made a play on defense. Man, that drive was abusive. I'm glad we finally put a stop to it. Gee whiz. And I'm pretty stoked for Harrison Taggart to start off the year with an interception too. That's pretty awesome. That one was pretty easy to read though, which is nice. I like it when they're easy to read. All right, nice 8-yard run. Somehow LJ has only touched the ball twice. We got Miles Davis coming in here a lot more often than I think I'd like. I'm thinking PA Reed. Is gun tray open? PA Reed. Yeah, because it's essentially the same setup. So either Chase or Cody would be good here. Chase it is. Nice. I want to have a nice balance of run. Ooh, hold up. Actually. I'm gonna go with this one. It's probably going to be Jackson Bowers underneath, but yeah, just as I thought. Nice. That actually worked out really, really well. 13-yard catch because he kind of shifted behind. The reason for that audible was they're stacking the box, which they do it again here. But we're going to stick with it because I think we can still get 4 or 5 yards out of this. Oh, yeah, we get plenty of yards out of that. Okay. It seems like we've got the tempo we want. We can just kind of stick with it. I like using LJ as a workhorse because they are stacking the box, but we've got enough guys to counter it, so should be okay. And we got that's not Connor Pay, that's the guy on the other side. He's not gonna get in, but he's gonna get a first down. Good for a Cougar. First down. I don't think I've tried this halfback motion toss here at square, so we're gonna give it a shot. We don't often line up under center. It's kind of wild. We're gonna bring Chase. Ooh, that actually, no, that is beneficial. Ooh, cut it back. All right. That's 21 unanswered in the first quarter. So, I mean, it is FCS Midwest. They're a pretty not good team. And really the only reason it's 21-0 is because of the interception on the goal line. So, it's not a fluke necessarily. That was a good cutback. That was good blocking, good cutback. Great job on that drive. But this is starting to feel a little unfair to the poor Coyotes. But that's okay. It's supposed to feel unfair. I'm supposed to be kicking their butts. That's why we're here. All right. They're going to do the same nonsense, I imagine. I filled that hole like I was supposed to, but I guess I They usually go pass right after that, but we're going to blitz. Micah Harper. Good job. Yikes. I don't know what the proper... Okay. Forced incompletion. And that'll be the end of the first quarter. We are 3 for 3 on our drives, on scoring touchdowns on all of them. Jake is... I don't know how many attempts, but he's 100% for 76 yards in the touchdown. Had a really nice... It was a 29-yard touchdown from Jake to Darius Lassiter for the second score of the game. We're gonna keep the rock inside because it's working, frankly, and just try to, you know, mosey our way down, I guess. Yeah, 4 yards on that one. I'm gonna go halfback counter. It's Miles Davis. Miles Davis is taking a lot of snaps. That I kind of wanted. Ooh, nasty little spin move. I wanted LJ to be like our workhorse, and it seems like I'm calling a lot of plays that that have Miles Davis in there. I've called this play a few times this game. In fact, that's what we scored off of that second touchdown. That's a 30-yard bomb. He's 6 for 6. 30-yard bomb to Darius Lassiter for a first down. Oh no, is that a touchdown? That's a touchdown for Miles Davis, ladies and gentlemen. It sounded like I didn't want that to happen, but I promise you I do. I want everybody to get touchdowns. It was great blocking, but then at the end it was just that spin move that caught 29 off guard, and then 20 just didn't have the right angle. So 6 attempts for 54 yards and a touchdown. Ooh, that's okay. That's gonna be returnable. Oh, and he got a decent return up to the 24. This is gonna be a run. Nope, it's not. Oh, but Tyler Batty for his second sack of the night. 3rd sack overall for BYU. DJ is not having a good time right now. Oh, there's Zoe. We got 3rd and 5. I don't think they'll run here, but they certainly could. Oh, yikes. I got burned so bad. It's going to end up being a sack. I stop moving. He was going down. Is that John Nelson again? It's either him or Mangelson. 4th sack of the night for the BYU Cougars. We're just taking care of business, I guess. I don't know what else to say. Man, Miles Davis is currently the workhorse. It was not my intention. 3rd and 6. We're going to go with Y cross flood. I really like the circle route, Darius Lassiter, where he goes up and then he sits. We've also got the streak with Chase Roberts that might be good, but typically I look at the out route. It's not going to be the out route. It's going to be Keanu Hill. I don't know if Chase got there. I don't know if he was open. I saw Keanu break, and I immediately hit him because he was wide open over the middle of the field. So that's kind of where I was going there. Doing an inside zone here. Oh, that's touchdown, boys. All right. So we're 1 quarter in, and LJ Martin has 3 rushing touchdowns. No, we're 2 quarters in. We're halfway through the 2nd quarter, and LJ Martin has 2 rushing touchdowns. 3 rushing touchdowns. Yikes. I mean, BYU's not a bad team, and FCS Midwest is obviously is because they're supposed to be, but ooh, Damani's got him. Barely a return. Damani on the spot. Got that jet screen, maybe? It very well could have been that jet screen, but I tell you what, Blake Mangelson's not going to let anything get by. Okay, we got them all covered up, so we blitz here. We're blitzing. Oh, they're going left. Nope, they go back. And they lost 3 more yards on that one. I almost, like I said, I almost feel bad. Oh, man. Okay. Oh, Parker Kingston. Bringing it back to the 26. It's wanting me to go, like, hard. But I don't want to do that. So I'm actually going to go, let's go player, because then I can pick LJ Martin specifically. Now, they're stacking the box, which they should, because we have a lot of rushing yards. But at the same time, it's not really going to do much. Although, if I hadn't run into, shoot, I can't remember his name. Oh, I actually do need to have a little bit of urgency here, huh? Okay, we're going to do one more run play. And if this one doesn't go in, well, we'll probably run one more. Okay, doesn't matter. LJ goes in for his 4th, I believe, touchdown of the day. Yikes. Again, I almost feel bad. Do I play the backups the whole 2nd half? Or maybe the 3rd quarter I keep the starters in? Like, I don't know what to do in this situation. We're just destroying them. LJ Martin has 4 touchdowns. They're doing all they can, man. Like, good on them, I guess. I did not intend for him to catch that. Kind of glad he did, because poor DJ at this point, right? Ooh, it's got a screen. We got a screen. I was not able to get away from that. He almost caught that. That was as close to Hail Mary as you get. Well, going into the 2nd half, or going into halftime, we're up 42-0. Harrison Taggart, 4 tackles, 1 interception. That interception on the goal line kept them out of the end zone, obviously. And then the fumble recovery, that was not a fumble, kept them out of the end zone. Well, don't know about that one, but it definitely did, because obviously they didn't score. LJ Martin currently leading the way with 4 rushing touchdowns on 14 carries. And we receive to start the 2nd half. I'm going to stack the box, but I'm going to trust LJ here because I honestly think he's got that left side overpowered. And he does. Oh my gosh. Okay. He's off to the races. LJ Martin with his 5th rushing touchdown of the night. Obviously, not LJ himself, but my gosh, what a performance. I think the blocking is currently too overpowered. They are not able to do a whole lot of anything right now. And that's my bad. I did bump up a lot of the sliders to be super favorable, but that was a pretty good cut though. Like, I mean, part of that's on me. Like, I don't know. That's crazy. LJ Martin, 16 attempts for 152 yards and 5 touchdowns. It's kind of ridiculous offensive showing, kind of ridiculous defensive showing as well. And I need to get into a guy that I want to be with. Demooney makes perfect sense. That nice 35-yard completion. I can't imagine they're gonna. Oh, yikes. Okay, that was an RPO. If you didn't notice, and that tight end outside of the safety back there, I don't even know which one it was. He was wide open. I'm gonna expect the pass. I actually probably should have gone dime. That's okay. That's going to be Mark Collins on the interception right there. Nice way to start his season. And once again, we shut down the Coyotes surge. They had a good thing going there. There's that 35-yard pass. I mean, it didn't really go anywhere from there, but it was going to. And that guy was certainly number 13, I think he threw it to, was certainly not open. Keanu Hill. All right. Jake's only up to 155, which is only crazy because LJ has 150 of his own. This last drive, I'm going to focus on getting some more passing yards for Jake because I do want Homeboy to have some yards. It'd also be nice to get Chase Roberts some touches. I'm going with inside zone here. It's going to be LJ. So, potential to get his 6th rushing touchdown of the day. It's LJ Martin from the 1. Set, hike. And that's going to be it. Oh, he gets there. You can't see that finger. There's 6. That's 6 of them, baby. Yikes. Okay. If we lose this dude in the transfer portal, I'm gonna be real sad. And just like that, halfway through the third, we are up 56-0. I know this happens all the time where the FBS team blows out the FCS team, but I still feel bad about it. Like, I don't have to enjoy this. I mean, obviously I do enjoy it, not have to. Obviously I enjoy this, okay? Let's not get this twisted. Okay, let's get some reps for the young guys. Jack Kelly's still here. What are you doing? Okay, I got Sione Moa at least. Yikes. Okay, again, I sold it. I completely effed that up. But that's okay. That's going to happen sometimes. So going to be a run here. Actually, yes, I think. Nope, he didn't do it. But it is a screen. Nice tackle from number 4, whoever that is. Ben Frank is, frankly, not my favorite quarterback right now. Do they go with another draw play? I don't think so because they're up. It's 3rd and 7, but you never really know. Okay. PI, maybe? Doesn't matter. Mark Collins did his job. Is that number 4? No, he's number 2. Mark Collins does his job, and they kick it out of bounds. I don't really see a point in putting Gary Bohannon in right now. I know he's better, but Trayson Borgett actually makes more sense considering he's a younger guy, just to get him the reps. We go wide drag. It's not the deepest route, but we got Jackson Bowers right there, Keelan Marion, Parker Kingston maybe super deep. Probably Jackson Bowers. It's actually gonna be Hinckley Rapati out of the backfield. That's what it's called. Hinckley Rapati out of the backfield. And just like that, Trayson Borgett is on his way. We might just give Hinckley like all the targets, all the carries right now. I mean, he's our running back, and it's kind of a run-balanced offense. I wouldn't say it's a run first necessarily, but it also is. I could see Keelan Marion or Jackson Bowers on the, yep, Keelan Marion. Ooh, took a quite a hit right there. The end of the third quarter, we're still up 56-0. It's been crazy. 206 passing yards, 252 rushing yards, an average of 10 yards per play. It's been nuts. I'm going to try this dig and go at a gun tray open. It'd be nice to give. I know I'm up. We all understand that. It's garbage time, essentially. Okay? I'm going to try to give Trayson a touchdown. So, or not. Instead, we'll get a sack. All right, Trayson gets another shot with... Yo, okay. Let's go gun normal Y off close red zone scissors. That's this triangle pass. And we got JoJo Phillips potentially deep, but we also got Hinckley Rapati, which actually it's gonna be JoJo. Oh no, it's not JoJo. Okay. That was less than desirable, but he's a backup. So sorry, Trayson. Obviously not how you want to start your 10 years quarterback, but it happens. It happens sometimes. And he's gonna throw right to Bamba. That's his name. That wasn't even an interception per se. That was just thrown to the defender. Maury Bamba. Just hit him right in the hands, right in the body. I guess he kind of got in the way, so it was like a little bit of a surprise, but either way, interception for Maury Bamba. Got a block downfield from Keelan Marion. We're going to try to bounce back with double slants here. Try to give Trayson a chance to redeem himself. Hit any of those receivers there. Looks like it's going to be Keelan Marion for the touchdown. Kind of just offset the interception right there. Get him a little bit more of a vibe back, I guess. Obviously, super unnecessary. They got crossing patterns. Nobody's on the backfield. They get a first down. And that's okay. I don't mind them getting, some first downs out of this. I saw that coming and I wasn't able to get it over there fast enough. This is fine. Again, we're up 63-0. I like the shutout because I think it's more fun to be able to say I shut them out, but I'm not going to I'm not going to be upset at the end of the day if we don't shut them out here. That was well placed. I can't be mad at that. We're going to throw a blitz at them because I haven't in a while, and they're a lot of fun. Who do you got? You got the running back. Okay. And just like that, the blowout has been extinguished. I didn't cover him very well, and he got wide open. On those little bubble routes, you probably don't want to go to them. You want to stay in front of them because they're going to do that if you don't. And finally, the goose egg is broken. That was a pretty pass, too. For the backup quarterback. Yikes, man. Ooh, I get an angle. Nice. Up to the 27 from I don't know where. They have more pass yards than I do, but they only have 7 rush yards, so. And we have 9 touchdowns. Inside zone. To the left. We're going to kill as much clock as we can. This is probably not going to go for much because I see that linebacker lined up. I got 4. I'm going to move Jackson Bowers to the left side. Oh, we're back to Miles Davis. He's going to cut right around him. Nice. First down. Okay. 2 minutes away from inking our first W. We're going to give Hinckley a bunch more carries. and spin for absolutely no reason, I guess. And that's going to probably take us to the end. Oh, no, it's not. So we're going to give Miles Davis another carry. And it's going to start right now. He's going to get an extra 7. That's going to put him over 100. 2 rushers with over 100 yards rushing. 1 with about 80. Both of them, or all 3 of them, had double-digit carries. LJ Martin, 153 yards on 17 attempts at 6 touchdowns. That's going to be fun to put on the spreadsheet. We start the season off on a strong note. 63-7 win against FCS Midwest Coyotes. Let's take a look at the stats really fast. Jake Retzlaff finished 9 of 13 for 178 yards and a touchdown. Trayson Borgett had 3 completions on 5 attempts with a touchdown and an interception. The interception was totally my fault. I misread that defender. I think I got a little, what's the word? Greedy. I got a little greedy on that one. Rushing end of things, we got LJ Martin again with 153. Miles Davis, 12 carries, 101 and a touchdown. Hinckley Rapati with 11 carries for 88 yards. No touchdowns from Hinckley. Wasn't able to get it to him. Receiving, Keanu Hill actually led with receptions and yards. Chase Roberts, 3 for 57. Darius Lassiter, 2 for 48 and a touchdown. Keelan Marion, 2 for 26 and a touchdown. Hinckley got 1 for 14, and Jackson Bowers had 1 for 13. No sacks given up. Connor Pay had 10 pancakes. Waylon Lapuau had 9 pancakes. And then our defense was led by, with solo tackles, it was Harrison Taggart with 5. But John Nelson had 8 assisted, which gave him 9 total. 4 tackles for loss and 1.5 sacks, which is pretty solid. Mark Collins also up there. Harrison Taggart was 7 total. Micah Harper was 7 total. Jacob Robinson, Maury Bamba. And then, of course, the 3 interceptions. Maury Bamba had 1, Mark Collins had 1, and Harrison Taggart had 1. Mark also had a deflection, so did John Nelson somehow. And then Blake Mangelson gets credited with a forced fumble, and Talon Alfrey gets a fumble recovery, despite the fact that, once again, it was not actually a fumble. But hey, it benefited me, so it counts. Enough said, I guess. So that's going to wrap up the first game of the season for the BYU Dynasty. If you enjoyed, please leave a like below. Consider subscribing. It's free. It's free. And if you have any comments, answers to any of the questions I posed, anything you want to suggest, any cheers you want to put in there, whether that's go Cougars, go Utes, go whoever you prefer, leave them down below in the comments. I really appreciate the support on the first video, and I'm hoping that this and all the future videos continue to get that support. I can do this on my own, but it's not as fun if I don't have you guys along for the ride. So a big thanks once again goes out to the people here on screen and to all of you wonderful viewers. If you liked it, give it a like, consider subscribing to the channel, and I hope to see you next week when we take on SMU in our first road test of the season. Until then, don't forget, today is a great day to do something amazing.